She wasn't just beautiful, she was powerful, the last true pharaoh of Egypt. Her story is one of power, politics, and enduring mystery. A tale etched in the sands of time, of a queen who dared to challenge the mightiest empire on earth. Forget the Hollywood glamour for a moment. Who was the real Cleopatra? Born in 69 BCE, Cleopatra was not ethnically Egyptian. She was the final ruler of the Ptolemaic dynasty, a line of Greek kings who had governed Egypt since the death of Alexander the Great. But unlike her predecessors, Cleopatra embraced the land she ruled. She was the first of her dynasty to learn the Egyptian language, one of at least 7 she spoke fluently. She was a scholar, a scientist, a strategist, and a diplomat, armed with an intellect that far outshone any reputed beauty. To understand her genius, you must understand her world. Egypt was the breadbasket of the Mediterranean, a wealthy kingdom caught between crumbling empires and the rising tide of Rome. Its strategic importance was immense, a prize coveted by every ambitious Roman general. Cleopatra ascended to the throne in a time of chaos, co-ruling with her younger brother. But she had no intention of sharing power. Exiled and outnumbered, she didn't surrender. She strategized her kingdom's survival depended on a dangerous game of alliances, and she knew exactly which pieces to move. Her most audacious move was smuggling herself into the palace at Alexandria to meet the most powerful man in the world, Julius Caesar. Rolled in a carpet, she presented herself not as a supplicant, but as a rightful queen seeking an ally. Caesar, a master politician himself, recognized her brilliance. Their alliance was more than just a love affair. It was a calculated political merger. With Caesar's legions at her back, Cleopatra secured her throne. In return, Rome gained access to Egypt's vast wealth and grain. Their son Caesarion represented a potential future where East and West could be united under a single dynasty. But history had other plans. Caesar's assassination in Rome plunged the world back into civil war and left Cleopatra once again fighting for her kingdom as survival. From the ashes of Caesar's republic rose two new powers, his adopted son Octavian and his loyal general Mark Antony. Antony, now ruler of the eastern provinces, summoned Cleopatra to Tarsus. She didn't arrive as a vassal, but as the goddess Isis, sailing up the river in a magnificent golden barge with silver oars and purple sails. Antony was captivated, not just by the spectacle, but by the woman herself. Their connection was immediate and profound. It was a partnership of equals, a union of love and political ambition. Together, they dreamed of a new Hellenistic empire based in Alexandria, a rival to the growing power of Octavian in Rome. They were not just lovers, they were a geopolitical force, redrawing the map of the ancient world. Their alliance was a direct challenge to Rome, a clash of civilizations fueled by love, power, and strategy. But their dream was a threat to Octavian. Back in Rome, he launched a brilliant propaganda campaign, painting Cleopatra as a seductive foreign temptress who had bewitched Antony and sought to enslave Rome. He declared war not on Antony, a fellow Roman, but on Cleopatra. The final confrontation came at the naval battle of Actium in 31 BCE. It was a disaster. Antony and Cleopatra's fleet was defeated, and they fled back to Egypt with what remained of their forces. The end was near. Octavian's legions followed them to Alexandria. Facing certain defeat, Antony took his own life. Cleopatra, now a prisoner, knew her fate. She would be paraded through the streets of Rome in Octavian's triumph of humiliation she would not endure. Her final act was one of ultimate defiance. According to legend, she committed suicide by allowing an asp, a symbol of divine royalty, to bite her. Her death marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the end of an independent Egypt. The mystery of her final moments and the location of her tomb remains one of history's greatest unsolved puzzles. So much of what we think we know about Cleopatra comes from Roman propaganda. They needed to vilify her to justify their conquest. She was not the most beautiful woman of her time. Contemporary accounts describe her as charismatic and intelligent, with a voice that was utterly captivating. Her power was not in her face, but in her mind. She was a master of manipulation, a survivor who navigated a treacherous world dominated by men. She was a leader who fiercely protected her people and her culture. With her death, Egypt officially became a province of the Roman Empire. The age of the pharaohs was over, but Cleopatra's legacy was just beginning. She has been a muse for artists, a symbol of female power, and a subject of fascination for over 2,000 years. From Shakespeare to Hollywood, her story has been told and retold, shaping our ideas about power, leadership, and the collision of cultures. She remains a feminist icon, a brilliant politician whose intelligence and ambition allowed her to command the world stage. Cleopatra didn't just rule Egypt, she ruled history. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, be sure to share, like, and subscribe to Digital Time Vault for more history. Thanks for watching,